Hi, I'm Bhushan Patel and you guys are watching IndiaGlitz.com. It's not a sequel. Firstly, let me clear this. It's not a sequel of 1920. It is the same franchise. Yes, of course. We are selling the same sensation, which is horror. Like if you think of 1920, then you will be reminded of a horror film. And so is this. This is a horror film. I can say that very confidently that it's a scarier film than the first one. But this doesn't have the same characters, nor does it have the same story. It is not a continuation of that story. Everything is new. The actors, the characters, the director, the story, the locations. Because that story, the old 1920, that story ended with that film. So we could not have even if we wanted to, carry forward that story. So we have not. We have gotten a new story completely. See, a perfect film for a debut director is a hit film. Is a film which does well, a film which has a very good story, which has a very good release, which has a very good producer. And I hope I have a very good producer. My film is getting a good release. And people are saying that the film looks good. So then there's nothing more that a debutant director would want. And so I have no cause to complain at this moment of time. Starcast, when we first started making the story, we did not think of the actors first. Vikram and Amin Haji, Vikram Bhatt and Amin Haji are the writers of the film. And me, we were sitting for the story, and we did story sittings, and we first crystallized on a story. And then when the casting came about, casting time, Vikram has done many films with Aftab in his life. And so Vikram said, we were just discussing when Vikram said, okay, why not Aftab? He's a good actor, and I knew he's a good actor. I mean, I'd never met him before this, but I've seen his films, and he's a very good actor. And Vikram just said, let's have Aftab for the role. And he suggested Aftab's name, let me put it that way. And I was more than happy because Aftab I knew would at least, because he's also going through a rough time in his life, he also wanted to prove something. So it's always good to have someone who really wants to do something, and he wants to prove his point and get across to the audiences once again, who is as needy as I am. And so I was more than happy to have Aftab on board. And Tia, she had already done 2 films with Vikram Bhatt's production company, and she had a 3-film contract. And because I had worked with her in a film called Haunted, in which I had operated the camera, the 3D camera, so I knew her personally. So, and I knew that she's a very fine actor. So Aftab and Tia just happened that way. I mean, we just got into a discussion, and that's how it happened. Like in Haunted, she had played the woman who is traumatized by the ghost. In this film, she's playing, even during Haunted, I remember she used to say, okay, I wish I can play the ghost because I want to scare people. So she always wanted to scare people. And in this film, when we offered her this role, she was absolutely excited. And and before we started shooting, I remember the first day of shooting, she was very scared. She said, Bhushan sir, we have to, in some way, she had to do better than Ada. She wanted to do better, at least equal Ada, because Ada had done such a wonderful job in 1920. The best part about directing Tia was that when I would talk to her, when I would direct her, or when I would explain the scene to her, she would just watch me and keep her eyes and ears absolutely open. So she was very receptive. She heard everything that I had to say to her. And then, so she tried very hard. She had to wait long hours for her makeup, which also she did. And so basically all of us wanted to do very well. And Tia is a fine actor, and so is Aftab. I must say that Aftab has also done brilliantly. Just because he's not playing... See, Tia's is an author-backed role. It's a horror film, and she's playing the possessed one. So obviously she has a lot to do in the film. But Aftab is the one who's being horrified, or who's getting scared. And if Tia is looking scary only because Aftab is looking that scared. No, we had a few look tests before we started shooting that we wanted to see as to what all could be done with Tia's face. Because horror, you need to have good makeup, and to look like a ghost like she does here. It doesn't come about naturally. It has to be, it's a process which you have to go through. So we had a couple of tests, and we had different stages from when she was possessed in the film till the climax, where it is the maximum, the possession is at its height. We had 3-4 stages. So we, after those tests, we froze on those 4 stages, that this is 3 or 4 stages, that this is what we want to do. And that's how we went about it. I would want to do well every day of my life, whether it's shooting for film or TV. So shooting for me is not, I would not say pressure. Pressure, yes, but work, like I say, work pressure is always better than no work pressure. So pressure to do well is there every day. I mean, even just now I'm under pressure that I give a good interview, but that would not deter me from shooting. That would always make me do better. Vikram is an exemplary producer. Him being a director himself, I think he understood what a director goes through. He had also has, like he told me, I've also made my first film, so I know, don't worry, I'm right. And we are childhood friends. So I have seen him through that journey. I was with him 25 years back when he made his first film. I was acting in that, actually. I don't want to talk about that, but I have seen him through that, and now he says, so we have been through this once with my first film, and now we are going through it for your first film. So he's been a wonderful friend, mentor, guide, or whatever I could call him, and a producer. And being a director himself, he has not interfered at all. Let me add that he has never come on my set. The only advice, like I keep saying, he gave me was go make your own film. So he has been superb as far as producer is concerned. Nothing was troublesome on the set. Actually, what was troublesome on the sets in Sweden was the cold. We had to battle the cold, if anything. It was very cold when we were in Sweden last year, and it was very difficult for the actors. So I would understand that they are cold, but unfortunately we had to shoot. And so anything, if there was nothing, there was no one who was troublesome on my set. Thankfully, I had a wonderful unit and a wonderful star cast, and everyone, I have to thank everyone. Let me use this opportunity to thank each and every one of my unit for helping me make the film that it is. I'll be very candid to say that such films I don't think will get critical acclaim. Horror films, Vikram has made such brilliant horror films, but I don't think any of them got ever any critical acclaim. So I want the audiences to like it. I'm not very worried about whether the critics would like it or not. I want the audiences to like my film, and so which I think would translate to box office. Because if the audiences give my film a thumbs up, then I will definitely get my next film, you see. If the critics give my film a thumbs up and the audiences a thumb down, then I might not get, because the critics don't give me my next film, my audiences do. And so I would, not because of the money, but because the producer would want to repeat me, and if I give him a hit film, then the producer will definitely repeat me. And so I think it's the box office and not the critical acclaim. There are a few things in the pipeline. I don't know whether they're going to be horror or not. Maybe horror, maybe not. But these are the things that I would divulge a little later. At this moment of time, I would like to speak only about this film. And so all in good time. Keep in touch with me and I'll let you know.